Welcome to part 2 of our MLA format information. Today we're going to be covering the paper and body format, so kind of the meat of our MLA format. So the first thing you always check is your margins. For MLA, we do want 1-inch margins on all sides. This is typically called the normal margin in Word and I believe also in Google Docs. To check this on your top information bar, you're going to go all the way over to Layout. And then the very first tile is margins. You're going to click and open that and make sure your margins are set to 1 inch on all sides. For MLA, the start of your paragraph or your very first paragraph is on the first page. I know APA and others have a title page. MLA does not. All that information starts on the first page. Your works cited page is also on a separate page. If there's only 2 sentences on page 3, works cited is still on page 4. It doesn't matter. It's always on a separate page of its own. So your font is either Times Roman 12 or Arial 11, but make sure that you read your instructor's instructions very carefully. Some may say they only want Times New Roman 12. Some may say they just want a size 12 font. It is up to them, so you need to read very carefully. It is all double spaced. I will show you how to set up all this stuff in a second, but there are also no extra spaces. So sometimes what happens is you go and you click double space and it'll add an extra space before or after a paragraph or before or after you've hit enter. And it just makes it too far apart, and we're going to fix that and I'll show you how. You also have an indent at the beginning of every paragraph. Here's how you set your double space. There's 2 different ways. You can go all the way to layout on your top information bar and then over to the paragraph section. Click open paragraph section, which is just a little square with an arrow. It'll open up this whole informational tab. The very bottom here you see spacing, line spacing, and you're going to click this down and click double. And here's where you want to make sure that both the before and after lines say 0. This makes sure that you don't have that extra spacing I talked about. Same thing if you're just using the shortcut on your home tab, same paragraph tile. You're going to click the 4 lines with an arrow going up and down. That is line spacing. You're going to click 2.0 and you're going to make sure that both of the very bottom things say add space before or add space after. What that means is that there is not a space, therefore it can be added. If it says remove a space, that means there is a space there and it needs to be removed, so go ahead and click it. Part 3 of this, we'll be talking about our works cited and in-text citation, but we're going to go over and look at an example of how to set up this next part of your paper. So, say you have your paper all set up, you've already have your introductory information, your title, and your header. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your line spacing, I'm going to use the little shortcut over here on the home tile, is set to 2.0. And I notice at the very bottom it says remove space after paragraph. What that means, as you can see when I kind of hover my mouse over it, is that there is a space there. I don't want it there. I'm going to click it and it'll bring it a little bit closer together, but it is still double spaced. Then I'm going to go over to layout and click my margins tile and make sure that it says normal, which is 1 inch on all sides. Narrow is 1/2 inch. Wide is 1 inch on the sides and 2 inches on the 2 inches on the sides, 1 inches on the top. But we just want our normal 1 inch all sides. So now I'm going to click enter from my title. I'm going to make sure that I align to the left and then start my first paragraph. I'm just going to hit tab. And what that does is automatically indents your information 1/2 inch. So from here you can start typing. You'll have your double space set. I set the font in the very first video. I clicked Times New Roman and 12. You can also do Arial 11. That's your paper and body format.